Top stories this evening, sponsored by Coors, bringing value home. GCOM gear up for 2025 general and regional elections. Over 9,000 new applications received. Meet us halfway. GTU's first vice president appeals to government. 48 participants benefited from crop management through IPADG's EEPD project, and local banking sector encouraged to reevaluate and realign banking policies to match transformation. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Travis Chase with the Wednesday, May 22 edition of the HGP Nightly News. Here's what you need to know this evening. As the Guyana Elections Commission gear up for the 2025 general and regional elections, you will hear in this report that already the elections body is in receipt of more than 9,000 applications for new registration. As Guyana prepares for the holding of general and regional elections in late 2025, all eyes will be fixed on the Guyana Elections Commission. The contentious issue for the two main political parties, the People's Progressive Party Civic and the Partnership for National Unity, is the voters list. GCOM is currently conducting its first cycle of continuous registration, and according to the elections body public relations officer Yolanda Ward, over 9,000 new registrants have already been recorded by GCOM.
We would have had just about 9,290 applications for new registration. And we normally split this into two categories, what we refer to as Category A and Category B. Category A are those persons who are eligible electors, meaning that they are 18 years and older, and therefore they qualify to be extracted from the National Register of Registrants database onto an official list of electors.
The first cycle of continuous registration by GCOM commenced on January 3 and will conclude on May 31, 2024. This continuous cycle, according to the PRO, is in keeping with the National Registration Amendment Act.
And the Category B persons are the persons between 14 to 17 years old. So we've had just about 6,396 persons 18 years and older who apply for registration during this period, and about 2,894 persons in the Category B aspect, which are the 14 to 17-year-olds who would have applied for registration.
Already, the People's Progressive Party Civic's General Secretary Barra Jagdew has said that the party is not opposed to a biometric identification system at polling stations and electronic voting, while the APNU-AFC continues to demand a clean voters list and the use of biometrics. Get registered, Ms. Ward charged.
The importance is really twofold. One, in the first instance, to be issued with your national identification card, and also to ensure that you are in that National Register of Registrants database. It is from that database that once you are eligible to participate in the electoral process, that you're then extracted onto an official list of electors. So in order for you to exercise your constitutional right to participate in the electoral process, any elections in Guyana, it starts with, first of all, registering.
Ms. Ward reminded that there are legal implications under the National Registration Act for persons who opt not to register.
Some persons think that, it's just, I just need an ID card, but the law actually stipulates the importance of registering and how important it is for persons not only to participate in the electoral process too, but there are offenses and penalties for failure to apply for registration.
The second cycle of registration will run from July to November 2024. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. Teachers returned to the streets Wednesday, as no date has been set for the resumption of conciliation talks. In this report, the first Vice President of the Guyana Teachers Union has a special plea for the government. Here's more.
Meet us halfway. That's the plea of Mariska Williams, first Vice President of the Guyana Teachers Union, now that talks between the GTU and the Ministry of Education ended in a stalemate. Williams spoke with reporters from the picket line in front of the Ministry of Education, Brickdam, Wednesday morning.
The government remains firm in their position, likewise the union. But at the end of the day, from the union's position, we always say that the learners come first, because many teachers are often ill and they think about the learners. And so right now, it's all about the learners. We're appealing to the administrators to meet us halfway. We have been compromising in so many ways when we meet to consult with them.
The government's position is that for any negotiation to take place, the ongoing strike must be called off. The union, fearing that they may be entrapped by the government, is demanding an advance of 20%, considered to be an interim salary increase, pending final negotiations.
It's always the GTU who will be compromising, coming up with different scenarios or situations to say, meet us halfway.
Ms. Williams underscored that the nation's teachers feel disrespected by the government, given that their 2019 to 2023 proposal for salary increases has been apparently brushed aside.
The government remains firm in their position, likewise the union.
The GTU is demanding salary negotiations from 2019 to 2023, while government is refusing to have that negotiation and has offered a new multi-year agreement from 2024 onwards.
We will remain firm because we have a mandate which was given to us by the membership, and we're sticking to that. Everything as a union we would have been doing is with consultation with our membership. So we're acting in accordance with the membership.
The GTU's proposal provides for 25% in 2019 and 20% for 2020, 2021, 2022 and 2023. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
Carice Gonzalez will tell you now that some 33 patients who were discharged from the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation are still being housed at the facility after relatives have so far failed to take them home. Chief Executive of the facility, Robbie Rambaran, says that this is posing a significant challenge for the institution.
In a recent interview, Chief Executive Officer of the Georgetown Public Hospital Incorporated, Robbie Rambaran, stressed the ongoing issue of the patients being discharged from the institution and abandoned by their families continues to pose significant challenges for the hospital.
There are 33 of them actually here. That's an entire ward. And they're they're occupying valuable bed space for other admissions and elective surgery. Sometimes you hear people complain that they have to wait long for a surgery, and these are factors that contribute to a long wait in surgery because there are no bed available.
Despite numerous appeals to relatives to ensure their loved ones are picked up, Rambaran expressed frustration that these requests go unheeded. He highlighted instances where ambulances returned patients home only for family members to refuse to receive them. Recognizing patterns of behavior among families, Rambaran mentioned that the GPHC would have involved the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security to help addressing these cases.
The family knew they were here. The family used to come every time they were to go and collect their pensions. We had to get social protection involved. When social protection involved the whole pension, then they came and collected their relatives.
The CEO underscored that some of the challenges are complex and not easily resolved. He is urging the public to understand that they stem from practical difficulties rather than politics.
One patient who is about 5 years here, there is another patient, and there are a couple of them who are over 4 months. So the patient has been a long time here.
Despite the complexities, Rambaran reiterated the appeal for families with long-term patients in the hospital to promptly uplift them, as prolonged stay put a strain on the institution's system. Reporting for the HGP Nightly News, I am Carice Gonzalez.
You're watching the HGP Nightly News. Stay with us. There is more news ahead.
Transitions light intelligent lenses. Pick your color. Choose your style. Available at Optique Vision Care.
We at SNL Electrical Agency believe that a good design begins with a great lighting plan. From ambiance lighting to statement chandeliers. Trendy LED fixtures. We've got it all. Layering your homes with lights is the key to creating spaces that welcome, comfort, and inspire. SNL Electrical Agency, importers and distributors of all electrical lamps, solar lights, cables, circuit breaker panels, AC units, and so much more. SNL Electrical Agency, 179 to 180 Thomas Street, Kitty. Telephone 226-3018, 223-1634.
Say goodbye to germs with a free Sterling Super Soap automatic dispenser. That's right, get free equipment and installation of our touch-free dispenser. The perfect amount of soap every time ensures clean and germ-free hands. Refilling is quick and easy with 4 amazing fragrances: coconut, sunflower sunrise, pink blossom, and citrus zest. Call us on 265-7403.
Krishna Roff Establishment. No job is too small or too large. We specialize in all types of fabricating, machinery, excavator repairs, rice field pumps, and hydraulic hoses. Visit us at Lot 113, Block CC Monrepo, East Coast, Demerara, or call 220-9624, 616-9416, or 619-7880. At Krishna Roff Establishment, no job is too small or too large.
Welcome back to the HGP Nightly News. You will hear now that President Irfan Ali has called on the banking sector to reevaluate and realign its management policies to match the rate at which the country's economy is growing. The story from Daisy Richards.
President Irfan Ali at Wednesday's Private Sector Commission's annual general meeting challenged the local banking sector to understand where the country's economy is heading and create greater investment opportunities for operators.
The role of the bank is not to take deposit and to lend in a low-risk environment. The role of the bank is also to seek opportunity, to understand where the economy is going.
The head of state, however, acknowledged efforts being made by several banks that have been working diligently to ensure easy access to financial resources to meet the demands of Guyana's growing economy.
As our local private sector and local leaders are doing a tremendous job in trying to open up opportunities, especially in the non-oil sector. But the speed at which the bank has been operating and processing does not match the type of dynamism.
The president assured that he is not being critical of the banking sector, but urged that an evaluation is necessary to ensuring that the mode of operation is in keeping with Guyana's transformation.
I'm saying this for us all to review our mode of operation and to find, as we confront these challenges in a new year, a new sense of purpose, a new year in terms of the PSC year.
For HGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards.
Thank you, Daisy. Bonus seeker farmers will soon benefit from a processing facility. President Ali, during a recent visit to the community, said the move comes in response to challenges faced by farmers. Carice Gonzalez will tell you more.
President Irfan Ali on Tuesday announced plans to construct a processing facility at Bonasika Creek, located along the Essecobo River. The facility, according to the president, will assist farmers in boosting ginger and vegetable production due to the current high volume amid challenges of finding suitable markets.
We are going to build in this area a processing facility so we can take the fresh ginger, dry it and crush it, so we'll extend the storage time from weeks to months and access higher value market with the ginger.
Emphasizing the flourishing agricultural sector, President Ali urged the youths there to engage and capitalize on farming activities.
I want to see young people and women coming together as a group in this area, and we're going to work with you on creating a highly integrated farm of high value and great returns for you in this community.
The President also took the opportunity to inform farmers about the planned establishment of a production system that will integrate surrounding communities as a central processing hub. He stressed that these measures would enable persons to go beyond the traditional methods of farming and food production, thereby building and creating additional wealth.
We can specialize on different islands in different things. And for us to achieve the market that we are setting ourselves to, we have to produce in large-scale production.
He, however, highlighted recent investments of nearly $1 billion in drainage and irrigation projects over the years, benefiting more than 300 farmers in the community.
I know you produce about 50 tons of banana, more than 200,000 pounds of pumpkin, and in cassava and other provision, you have produced more than 120 tons.
Reporting for the HGP Nightly News, I am Chris Gonzalez.
Very soon, Guyana will host its inaugural Criminal Justice Reform Conference. Tiana Cole will tell you more.
Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Anand Nandlal on Tuesday during his weekly program Issues in the News announced that Guyana will host its first ever legal conference on criminal justice reform, advancing the Needham's Point Declaration from July 10 to July 11. The goal of this conference is to modernize and prepare the legal system to meet the changing demands of contemporary challenges.
It will bring together attorneys general from across the region and beyond, heads of judiciaries, judicial officers, professors of law, lawyers, director of public prosecutions, and various experts in the legal arena.
The two-day conference will be held at the Marriott Hotel. It was conceptualized from a collaborative effort between the Attorneys General Chambers and the Caribbean Court of Justice (CCJ) Academy for Law. It is part of the Inter-American Development Bank (IDB) funded support for the criminal justice system (SCJS) project in Guyana.
It will involve the presentation of several papers on important issues concerning the criminal justice system, and it will also have panel discussions on the various themes that are going to be interrogated and presented upon.
The Needham's Point Declaration covers key areas related to criminal justice reform, including policy and legislative interventions, prosecution, police representation for the accused, victims' rights, and judicial interventions. The declaration emphasizes the need for swift justice for the guilty and protection of the innocent. All persons interested in attending the conference may do so by registering before June 20th at GuyanaLegalConference@gmail.com. Tiana Ko reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Tiana, for your reporting. Stay with us. There is more news ahead.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
one world-famous astrologer and psychic, Astropandit Ishwar. Astrology prediction is God's gift, passed down from generation to generation. He is specialized in the removal of black magic, negative energy, bad luck, voodoo, evil spirits, your worries, and here, special guidance for broken relationships, husband and wife disputes. Expert in bringing back loved ones,
business problems, sexual problems, children's problems, family problems, health problems, domestic problems, and many more. 100% warranted result. All matters private and confidential. Call or WhatsApp now for book on appointment. And all religions are welcome.
Welcome back to the HGP Nightly News. 48 students are now better equipped in crop management after successfully completing an 8-week training program facilitated by the International Decade for People of African Descent Assembly Guyana through the Enhanced Economic Partnership and Development Project. Daisy Richards was there and she reports now.
The local agriculture sector has received a boost with the injection of 48 students who successfully completed an 8-week training program in crop management. Students were integrally involved in practical and classroom sessions. The training was facilitated by the International Decade for People of African Descent Assembly, Guyana, IPADG, through the Enhanced Economic Participation and Development Project, EEPD. The ceremony recognized the achievements of the 48 participants, with Chief Executive Officer of IPADG, Olive Sampson, underscoring the key role the organization plays in supporting youths.
These workshops eventuated in the face of adversity and naysaying to the community about IPADG's commitment and delivery of service to people of African descent. And on the other hand, it demonstrates that our commitment, will, and collective action as a people can make any endeavor upon which we embark a success.
She added that this achievement exemplifies the decade as it is set to contribute to the local agriculture sector. She posited that the knowledge gained by the graduates will be a generational asset. Meanwhile, coordinator of the event, Roxanne Myers, told this newscast on the sideline of the event that EEPD will ensure food security is achieved while promoting economic livelihood of member organizations.
Those that do agriculture, agro-processing, and create other kinds of products, like artisans who are doing craft or anything like that.
Participants are now equipped to further develop and integrate themselves in a project or projects of their choosing within their community's agriculture sector and will benefit from a grant funded by IPADG. For HGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards.
The Defense Amendment Bill 2024 was successfully passed in Parliament. The amendment will see Head of the Ghana Defence Force now being referred to as the Chief of Defence Staff.
In summing up the effect of the name change, Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips said military standards across the Commonwealth of Nations and in some Caribbean countries, heads are referred to as Chief of Defence Staff, Chief or Defence of Commander of Defence Force. The Prime Minister said the name Chief of Defence Staff is now more recognized.
The change in nomenclature holds the potential to strengthen our nation's defense structure and align it with modern approaches to military leadership worldwide. It is consistent and acceptable and equally applicable to the Ghana Defence Force.
The Prime Minister said there has been frequent and constant clarifications on the appointment of Chief of Staff at various forums attended by the current Chief of Staff of Guyana Defence Force.
With such observation and in an attempt to align our military with what currently obtains. The decision to make our head of the military the Chief of Defense Staff is recommended.
Hence the amendment to the bill, which was supported by the parliamentary opposition. However, opposition Member of Parliament and Shadow Foreign Affairs Minister Amanza Walton Desire, in her presentation, while commending the administration for properly piloting the amendment, said she hopes it will not be merely cosmetic, but there is a complete restructuring of the branches of the force, which will certainly make planning and administration better. The Member of Parliament raised the issue of armed culture.
There continues to be a deafening silence, both from the highest office in this land and from defense headquarters, with respect to those unsavory, if not uncouth, images that we saw emerging on social media a few days ago, in which we saw key members of the GDF High Command being hand-fed.
Walton Desire said the symbolic intimacy and informality is mimical to military culture.
Hand-to-mouth images, sir, of the commanders that are expected to command our troops making the rounds in cyberspace is a problem, and they demean and undermine, Mr. Speaker, not only morale, but the authority of those in command of our military.
Meanwhile, Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Anin Nandlal, who was speaking on his weekly program, Issues in the News, said there was no time in Ghana's history that the Ghana Defence Force was as professional as it is currently.
There is no time in our country's history, in my respectful view, that the morale of the Ghana Defence Force has been higher than it currently is.
Tianako reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Your regional news is up next.
Not a single bar of service.
Not with us. Digicel officially has the best mobile coverage in Guyana. Ookla, the company behind Speedtest, recognizes Digicel as the network with the best mobile coverage in Guyana. Be it in Aishalton or in Etteringban, we got you covered.
Digicel, the award-winning network for everyone.
Working and studying? Lacking energy and restless? Dr. Chase Nerve Food and Nerve and Blood Tablet and Tonic improve your energy, reduce stress and anxiety, improve immunity, digestion, sleep, and nerve function, fight anemia, and maintain liver function. Dr. Chase contains iron, vitamin C, B1, B12, manganese, liver fraction, aloe vera extract, and gentian root. Now, that's a doctor to trust. Dr. Chase.
Distributed by Massey Distribution.
Access to quality education for Guyanese countrywide is becoming a reality with the support of monies from the country's oil and gas sector. Some $94.4 billion was allocated this year to support the further development of the education sector. This covers access to textbooks, transportation to school, and hot meals for thousands of students. 30% of the funds used to propel development such as this in Guyana this year is being provided from the country's oil revenues.
Step right into the vibrant heart of Guyana with HGP TV's freshest series, Inside Culture. Dive deep into the pulsating core of our spirited nation as we unravel the captivating stories embedded in our arts, music, sports, and beyond. A journey to nurture your soul and celebrate our rich heritage. Join us on HGP TV, where Inside Culture brings you closer to the heart and soul of Guyana, airing Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. and rebroadcasting on Sundays.
Good evening and welcome to Wednesday's edition of the Regional News. We begin with news from Haiti. Haiti's National Police Force will take charge of a much-awaited UN-backed security mission set to launch by the end of this month. Police will oversee the force meant to wrest back control over large swaths of Haiti from gangs and will make decisions on its makeup, objectives, rules of engagement, and health measures. Last year, the United Nations Security Council passed a resolution authorizing the mission's deployment. However, progress has lagged as Haiti has fallen into further chaos, which saw interim Prime Minister Ariel Henry push out and an interim council installed in April. Kenya has offered 1,000 officers to lead the force, though their deployment has been repeatedly delayed by legal challenges despite construction on a base to house them underway. We now bring you news from St. Martin. A surprising turn of events in St. Martin, as after only 18 days being in government, Prime Minister Dr. Marcelina announced the invocation of Article 59 to dissolve Parliament in order to organize a snap election after the government lost its majority support in Parliament. The coalition government led by the Prime Minister was formed by the political parties United Resilient St. Martin Movement, Democratic Party, Nation Opportunity Wealth, and Party for Progress, following the 2024 parliamentary election in January. The MPs for these parties were officially sworn in on May 3. In St. Martin, there are 15 parliamentary seats, with 8 required to form a majority. Former Prime Minister Sylvia Jacobs lost the election earlier this year, after she did not have a majority to form a government, and returned as an MP. And now for international news. Former U.S. President Donald Trump opted not to testify in his criminal hush money trial on Tuesday, bringing his defense to a quick conclusion and clearing the way for jurors to begin deliberations next week. Trump had stoked speculations for weeks about whether he would take the stand to defend himself against charges of falsifying business records to cover up a hush money payment to porn star Stormy Daniels before the 2016 presidential election. By testifying, he might have sought to personally convince a panel of 12 jurors and 6 alternates that his aim was to protect his family from embarrassment, not bury a story about an alleged sexual encounter damaging to his political prospects. But criminal defendants typically do not testify in their own trials, as it exposes them to probing questions from prosecutors. He would have been at risk of perjury if he lied under oath. I am Carice Gonzalez. Thank you for watching.
GCOM gear up for 2025 general and regional elections. Over 9,000 new applications received. Meet us halfway. GTU's first vice president appeals to government. 48 participants benefited from crop management through IPADG's EEPD project, and the local banking sector encouraged to reevaluate and realign their banking policies to match transformation. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Travis Chase. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Interested in honoring or paying tribute to a loved one, or just making a loved one feel special? HGP TV offers you all that and more. Air your birthday greetings, death announcements, and wedding anniversaries on HGP TV today. HGP TV offers affordable prices, convenience, and great services. Call us on 220-3660 or email us at sales@hgptv.com.